Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have gone from sexy, over-the-top, and cringy PDA to professionally uncoupling amid rumors of drifting apart. The once dynamic double act that portrayed themselves as the greatest love story ever told, the peanut butter and the jelly, are now fueling rumors of trouble in paradise with more and more solo appearances and time spent apart. Are Harry and Meghan heading for more than a professional uncoupling and soft launching a real separation, both professionally and personally? You guys, we have a lot of juicy royal daily tea to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the royal daily tea. Hello and welcome to the Royal Daily Tea. If you're new here, hi, my name is Michelle and we discuss all things royal with a side of facts and humor. I also have another YouTube channel, Royal Daily Tea History and Fashion, where we discuss royals from around the world, fashion, and other interesting topics. So if you'd like to check out my other YouTube channel, be sure to check out the link listed in the description. Now, we just hit 36,000 subscribers and we are well on our way to hitting my goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you like today's content and you have not yet subscribed, I hope you will consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Now let's get into today's video. As I've mentioned in a previous video, it is becoming more and more evident that things have changed in the dynamics of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's marriage. I think the rose have fallen off the bloom. Remember the days of Meghan love bombing Harry with her adoring Charles Manson eyes, staring at him creepily while he spoke, or the double claw grasping at him constantly saying, "Mine! Mine," and pulling him like a rag doll, you know, the good old days, while ordering him around like a small child and directing him with her not so subtle hand push along the way. It seems Prince Harry, y'all, has grown his balls back, or maybe he got them out of his wife's handbag, because he looks like he's doing a little bit of rebelling, giving him a little bit of a pushback. He is now a bit more reserved and he has a mask that has slipped quite a few times. Again, he's beginning to look more and more like Ben Affleck. We all know that Ben Affleck got the hell out of Dodge, y'all. He got away from J-Lo. Unfortunately for Prince Harry, he's still stuck with Cruella de Vil. Now, all we see on Harry's face is constant unhappiness, misery, and disdain. It was very clear during the CBS Sunday Morning interview that there was some major tension between the two of them. It was awkward, to say the least. You could tell that Harry's not playing along anymore. He's not being a good little boy for Miss Megsy. He was over it, rolling his eyes, looking unbothered, like he wanted to be anywhere but there. It was very, very telling that there is definitely tension behind the scenes of the Montecito compound. Now, what I did find very interesting was when Meghan Markle was reliving her lowest moment, where she's talking about wanting to hurt herself, Harry could give two shites. He literally was thinking, did I leave the iron on? What level was I on, in my game yesterday? Could I be anywhere but here? He could not care less. Meghan even reached out and put her hand on his thigh to be like, "Remember, H, how I cried and threatened to throw myself down the stairs like your mom?" He didn't want any of it. He could not, bother. He couldn't muster up any cares. He was out of F's, y'all. He had 0 F's to give. And you could tell that even Jane Pauley was like, okay, this is awkward. So that CBS This Morning interview, guys, was so bad. And so many people were talking about the body language and how he didn't care. His mask was slipping. It was very, very obvious. They were unhappy, like they had an argument before they got to the set, that they have vowed not to do any more sit-down interviews. Now, that was the very first joint interview that Harry and Meghan had done since 2021, since the infamous Oprah Winfrey interview. And in my opinion, I think Harry's over it. He's tired of the lies. It was like Meghan was talking about that moment and he wasn't even buying it. He wasn't even buying the lie that they tried to sell to people. So after that interview, this is when Harry and Meghan started announcing their brand new strategy that we're going to go off separately but together, that we're now going to do our solo business ventures and we're never going to sit down together again because it's a complete disaster. And they cannot disguise the fact that things have changed behind the scenes of their marriage. And it's very, very obvious to anyone who can see. So now Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have announced to the world that they have two different paths, that they're on a brand new strategy where Harry's going to focus more on his philanthropy and Meghan's going to be the entrepreneur, the boss babe that she thinks that she is. Again, we have Harry who went off on a 2-week solo trip and then extended it for 3 weeks. Again, that's a long time to spend away from your mate. Now, Meghan is very concerned about her future. She's trying to make it. She's having a hard time. So now she's telling the world that she's a boss babe entrepreneur. She does her dolphin investing because we all know she likes to sing to seals. So she's doing her dolphin investing in only women-owned companies. And let's just say they haven't worked out for her so far. But hey, girlfriend, knock yourself out. And of course, she's still trying to make her lifestyle brand happen. But we all know American Riviera Orchard pretty much is DOA, dead on arrival. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But it appears that the once dynamic power duo of Montecito are professionally done with their joint projects, and the ones that they do have together are quickly coming to an end, and there has been no new joint projects announced. Now we know that Spotify is gone. Originally, it was supposed to be Harry and Meghan, and then somehow Meghan hijacked that entire project and she ran it straight into the ground because that is what Meghan does. Then they had their Netflix, but the only thing they really did jointly was their docu-series, which was moderately successful. Now we have Harry is trying to do the polo show. Meghan's trying to do her cooking show, but again, those are separate ventures. Then there's that movie of a book adaptation, Meet Me at the Lake. It's been crickets. We have not heard a peep from Harry and Meghan or anybody at their team about this movie. Again, I believe Netflix is going to give it to somebody else. So that is why Harry and Meghan are making these huge announcements of their huge solo ventures. I'm sure Netflix is happy to know that Harry and Meghan pretty much are done, that they're not producing anything other than the polo show and the cooking show. And again, their contract ends in 2025, so that's going to go away unless another streaming giant decides to gamble with the Sussexes, but that's a very bad turn on investment. Harry and Meghan, unfortunately, they just don't translate to dollar bills. Go talk to Spotify. They'll tell you they didn't make a dime. So moving forward, they're like two ships in the night going side by side, but in two different directions. It seems like they're constantly competing with one another for headlines, but again, they're all under the same umbrella. Now, don't even get me started on the Archwell Foundation. Again, that charity is a flop, guys. It hardly raises any money. It doesn't really do any good projects that actually do anything besides piggybacking off of other people. And don't even get me started about the missing millions or the late filing of taxes and the revolving door of staff and the bullion allegations. So in my opinion, it does appear that Harry and Meghan are definitely better apart than together. That's what Prince Harry is banking on, because let me tell you, Prince Harry, he misses being a royal prince. I mean, what's not to miss? It was a pretty sweet life. Chef's kiss, if you ask me. So Harry wants to become the new American royal, running around trying to tell the world he is somebody. I'm important. Pay attention to me, y'all. I'm a quasi-fake royal. And Meghan wants everyone to believe that she's a boss babe, entrepreneur, very successful in her own right. The problem is it's becoming very, very apparent that nobody cares about Meghan Markle. It's really about Prince Harry, who is the blood prince. It's like Meghan needs Harry more than Harry needs Meghan. So Meghan's probably getting a little nervous because Harry's being moderately successful on his little solo tours, pretending to be a royal, going and visiting all of his charities. Again, people like Harry a little bit more than they like Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle was a D-list showgirl who married a prince who went back to Hollywood, so she hasn't really done anything, but at least he's a royal prince. He'll always have that going for him, right? So in my opinion, Meghan is probably getting nervous because if Harry realizes, hey, wait a minute, I can kind of go back to my royal life. I could just be a pretend royal and pop up on the Today Show and hang out with Jimmy Fallon, and I could do my charities, I can travel, and I don't have to have this woman hanging on me all the time, and I can get my balls back. Oh, life's pretty good. This freedom thing, I can go back to the UK when I want to go. This is kind of nice. This is kind of nice. I don't need this windbag hanging on me all the time. And let's be honest here, nobody likes her. She's got a bad reputation. She's dragging me down. So she better hope that he doesn't, put his two brain cells together and have a real thought in his head, because he might be heading for the hills. Because Harry wants to be popular. We talked about that in a previous video. He likes being the golden boy, okay? And with Meghan, she's dragging him down with that reputation of being a demon boss and a dictator in high heels. I mean, y'all, I would not be surprised if some of those anonymous tips came from Harry himself.
Meghan, she's mean. She makes grown men cry. She's a dictator in high heels. She's mean to me. She needs to go. She's like my mom.
I mean, wouldn't it be funny if it was Harry calling the hotline, giving out anonymous tips about Meghan being a bully? Just saying. There's 16 bathrooms, y'all. He could be hiding in one of those bathrooms, selling stories to the tabloids. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. So Harry, he might get his two brain cells together and be like, I don't have to be here. See ya, Meghan. Now, Harry just turned 40, which we all know is kind of a midlife crisis. People make a lot of important decisions around milestone birthdays. And like I said, he's starting to get a little antsy, starting to separate himself for long distance of time away from Meghan. When he was in New York City, he didn't thank Meghan. He didn't mention Meghan. He talked about his kids, which normally he would be thanking Meghan for everything. And then we saw, of course, the CBS Sunday This Morning interview. So again, I do think there is trouble in paradise. And that is one of the reasons why they're trying this trial separation professionally. But if it works really, really well, I think it could possibly lead to a personal separation. In my opinion, Harry is definitely going into a midlife crisis. He misses his family, his friends, and he misses the royal prestige. Now, I'm not saying he fully wants to become a working royal, but at the end of the day, he's trying to have his cake and eat it too. But he kind of needs to get rid of Cruella de Vil. She's cramping his style, and again, her popularity has now plummeted. She's almost poison. Nobody really wants to work with Meghan, but Harry could be halfway salvageable. There's still a little meat on them bones that people could pick apart. Just hide it from Meghan. So in my opinion, this could be, bad for Meghan if Harry is successful on his own, because Meghan, I really don't see her being successful, especially without Harry and especially without that royal connection. But what do y'all think about this brand new strategy of Harry and Meghan doing their separate ventures? Do you think this is going to be good or bad for their marriage? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope to see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.